This is something that is never spoken about, and the entire piano education system has not taken it into account. Once you see this, it will change entirely the way you think about the piano. What's up everyone, Evgeny Genchev here, and this is Sweet Struggle. On here I share my knowledge and experience both as a performer and as a teacher to help you on your musical journey. I've also posted quite a few performance videos, so make sure to browse through the channel and check them out. Whenever Chopin would start working with new students, he would do what most teachers do, which is take the student's hand and put it on the keyboard. I would guess that when you started piano lessons, the very first thing that you learned from your teacher was the place of the middle C, right? Well, Chopin didn't do that. Instead, he put his student's hand on these notes. For students with larger hands or longer fingers, the last note varied. Instead of B, it could be also B sharp or C, depending on how you want to spell it. You can surely notice how the hand takes organically the most natural position when situated on these notes, simply because it accommodates the various lengths of all fingers. This looks much more natural than playing a C major scale, which the first 5 notes are... There is an obvious difference between these. That is also the reason why Chopin never gave C major as the first scale to learn. He actually considered it to be one of the most advanced scales due to the fact that it's so unnatural and so difficult to play on all white keys evenly when the nature of our hands is that we have fingers with different length. So his main concern was to make sure that your hand feels comfortable and natural during its first encounter with the keyboard, rather than giving you all white key scale without any flats or sharps. Now remember, during the warm-up you have to keep your hands, your wrists, your fingers as loose as possible. If you're fixing them or you're tensing them, then that could lead to injury, so make sure to keep an eye on them so you avoid any problems. Before we move on to the warm-up exercise, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've seen that over 70% of the people who watch the videos are actually not subscribers, which is crazy. So if you're enjoying the content, subscribe so that the algorithm can actually show you the videos when I post them. Also, to celebrate the launch of my Patreon page, I'm offering a special reward for everybody who signs up and chooses to support me. Besides all the perks and the different types of content that you will get instant access to, you will also receive a special reward with a Patreon-only live stream performance by me. How cool is that? I'm super excited about it, so make sure to go and check it out and sign up because time is running out. Now back to the warm-up. So we put our hands at the same position that Chopin would put his students' hands on. So this is E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp and B, or alternatively B sharp. These will be the keys we will use for the warm-up, and you can obviously do it with both hands. You can check them out for yourself and see how that feels. So we generally start from the bottom note, which is E, in both hands. And that works in unison. But if you prefer and you would be less confused, you can do it just starting with the first finger in both hands and working in contrary motion, which looks like that. However, I prefer not to do that, not because I mind the dissonance, but rather because I prefer to work on every 4th and 5th finger couple individually. You see, when you play in unison, you're forced to compare the ease and evenness of the 1st and 2nd from one hand to the clumsiness and weakness of 4 and 5 in the other hand. So in the end, this exposes you more but gives you much more of a productive practice. And of course, you're not alone in this feeling. It's a struggle for everyone and all of us need to be dealing with it. In addition, playing in unison this way also helps with the hand coordination. So for now, I will start with both hands at the note E. We play a few times up and down to make sure everything is in place and we are relaxed. Then, starting from the bass again, we make our way upwards by repeating every couple of notes 4 times and then return downwards. Let me show you how that works. So you can see the first and second, then the second and the third, then the third and fourth, and so on. You can think of it with the notes or with the fingerings, whichever you find easier to coordinate your hands with. It really is much easier in practice than to explain it, I promise. And you can see to my previous point how the 5th and 4th finger works with the 1st, 2nd at the same time, so that they can expose each other and see if there is any unevenness while you play them. And then when you get to the top, it's the other way around. This will expose any weaknesses in the 4th and 5th finger, since this is a very common problem that we're all dealing with and we all need to work on. Once you're done with this part, we move on to the next bit, which is similar, but rather than doing with the neighbor notes, now we skip one, so we do it in thirds. We do the 1st and 3rd note, 2nd and 4th, 3rd and 5th, and we loop it around. So let me show you how it works. So as I said, we keep repeating this 3-4 times for every couple of notes, and we loop it as much as we feel necessary. Once done, we move on to the next interval, which is fourths. And lastly, with fifths. Actually, with the fifths, you can switch from just using your fingers to also incorporating rotary movement. Alright, we're now supposed to be on a good way and getting things moving already. Next thing is playing intervals. The first one we start with is thirds, and this time is a little different as we play the notes together. Fourths, then we mix things up, going from fifths to thirds to a single note. If you'd like to get a PDF file with all these patterns, write an email to chopinwarmup@gmail.com and I'll make sure to get them to you. Please remember, it is essential to keep your hands as relaxed as possible. The wrists have a tendency to get fixed real quick during this exercise, so watch out. I don't want you to be coming out of this video with more problems than solutions. Also, make sure to not hold on with the fingers, but rather release the key as soon as you've played the necessary note. I hope you found this useful, and remember, you can do this at any level. I still do it to this day when I sit to warm up at the piano. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button if that's something that you're into, and remember to click that bell icon so that you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, look after yourself, keep up with the practice, and I'll see you in the next one. Wait, I almost forgot. Go and check out the Patreon page. There are just 2 days left until the end of the special offer, so go and sign up. See you in the next one.